to customize your data and connect it with these foundation models, right? So how do you actually use Bedrock? Now you go to your AWS accounts, you go to Bedrock in the console. First thing is you will choose a foundation model out of a number of choices. When you choose, then you connect your data to the foundation model. Once you've connected your data, you will execute some tasks to what you want to achieve. So you have a choice of foundation models here. Anyone in the room has a question on why do we need so many foundation models? Okay, we'll come to questions later if that's okay. So all of you feel it's okay to have multiple foundation models? Okay? Yeah?
Maybe for specific topics, it's better to train.
That's it. So in general life, day to day, when we want to go and buy a car, we're not going to buy Ferrari if we just want the use of going to your grocery shopping and coming back home, right? But you can't expect a Ferrari to run an off-roading race. Same way, your foundation models will be different for different use cases. Hence, because this field is evolving very rapidly, all you need to take care about is be adaptable. There will be more innovation, and the choice is what gives you the leverage to be ahead. Okay, so Amazon Bedrock has a lot of foundation models from different AI startups and Amazon's own homegrown. So some of these are AI21 Labs, Anthropic Claude, you have Meta provided Llama, you have Stability AI, you have Mistral AI, and you also have the Amazon's first party Titan models. Okay, but it offers one more feature amongst a whole suite of features, and that is knowledge bases for Amazon Bedrock. Now we spoke about semantic search and we also spoke about data. How do you connect this? So to simplify this whole process, knowledge bases will give you the choice to use your existing data sources, whether it's sitting in a database or sitting in an unstructured format in files or different formats of maybe NoSQL. You can connect your data sources to the foundation models within Bedrock using knowledge bases. Once you've connected the sources, you will pick a foundation model that will generate the embeddings for you. And then you will connect this whole process to your user query or whatever system will be used for the user to interact. What happens then is, as long as your data is updating, the embeddings are being generated, and your user query, when it comes, you can leverage that, enhance the context, and then eventually give better results. And don't worry, I will walk you through the whole architecture step by step. But one thing it also does beyond the user queries and connecting data sources is providing citations. What that means, it gives you sources. Where did it come up with the answer? Why do we need that? Anyone here from a financial domain or another similar domain where you feel there's a lot of trust that you need to build with your end customers? Show of hands. Okay, so perfect. So what we need to do is establish the trust with our customers. Why? Because they need to believe that whatever information you're getting as a result from these AI systems are trustworthy. And how do you do that? So when you use knowledge bases, it references your data where it came up with the answers for. So when you eventually use the responses, you can assure your customers this is where it came from. If you do not like it, you have a choice to go for another. Okay. So we'll talk about two types of architectures here. How many of you believe that data is paramount to derive to a solution which is effective in this day and age? Okay, so most of the room feels that. That's where we'll start. Because you own your data, you are custodians of your customers' data, or in one way or the other, you are consuming the data. The essential bits will start with your data, whether they're in the form of documents, or they may be in the multimedia rich format, images, videos, multimedia company having audio files perhaps. You can take your data, push it to one of the embeddings foundation model on Amazon Bedrock. So it has a lot of models such as Titan text embeddings, write an embeddings multimodal or go here, and then you have many more in one. When you push your data, it will generate the embeddings. What do we need to store these embeddings? Because when we store our normal data, we store it in databases, right? Simple databases. Either it's a SQL or a NoSQL. So for embeddings, because they are vectors, we need vector databases. One such vector database on Amazon is Amazon OpenSearch. So I've just used that as a reference here. So far you've taken your data, you've generated the embeddings using a foundation model on Bedrock, and you've also stored the embeddings in one of the services, which is a vector database. Finally, you will consume this data and build a generative AI application. Okay? So, what I'm going to do next is walk you through a bit more detail in the architecture. And this is how Sage implemented. We will hear the story, but I will give you the architecture first, and then we'll have Hardeep talk about how they implemented this. So, first we took the data that Sage had, which will apply to all of you in the same format. This data will be updated constantly, right? In your organization, the data is not going to be stable. It will constantly evolve every day, every minute, every second, the data is changing. So what do? You plug the data, and then you eventually store the embeddings into the vector database. Now what do we need next? We need to get the user query. Okay? When the user sends a question or is looking for some information, what you have to do? You have to enhance the context of the user query. And that enhancement process will be what you will convert the query into embeddings in the next step. Now you have embeddings in your hand. Are you all with me so far? Okay. We have the embeddings, which is of your data in the organization. In the third step, we also have the embeddings from the user, which is a query. Now we are going to ask the embeddings or vector database to tell us, hey, you remember the graph where we put the vectors in a space? This is what my user is asking for. Give me a close match. I will use that information, which will have sources in it, and I will enhance the query to say, user query was, tell me what is my business in the last quarter. Now I'm adding more information to what that quarter meant, what the business meant, what exactly are you looking for, and now I will pass it to a foundation model. Why? Because I need the foundation model to give me a summarized result. And that's how I came to an answer. Okay? Questions so far related to this architecture?
How is it able to be grammatically correct?
So accuracy will vary based on your use case. I'm happy to chat at stretch at the end of the talk. Yeah? But just remember, because the data is your organizational data, instead of changing the model, you are enriching the user context by making a query to your data, which is relevant to the search, enhancing that information, and then passing it to the foundation model. So foundation model uses its generic knowledge, but to give it more updates about your organization, you're passing that context bit here. You see this? So that's the context you're adding. And this is one of the most efficient ways today in generative AI world. This architecture is also referenced as retrieval augmented generation. Why? You retrieve the data, you augmented your query of the user, and then you eventually ask the model to generate the response for you. Okay?
Suppose you're using PG vector or not a vector database. This Amazon Bedrock is a product support that
Yes.
knowledge base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. There are a lot of other vector databases supported on Bedrock. So you will find a lot of information on our documentation, and there is a slide at the end which will give you a pointer to that. Okay? But at this point, I will hand over to Hardeep to talk about their journey in Sage.
Can everyone hear?